Will be a resident of Miami-Dade County. He's known to a lot of us, and he is Mike Essen, who is a conservative talk show host over the internet. And so, Mike, you have the mic. Please come on up. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, Patriots. Thank you for having me here. I'm honored to be, as John Denver said, it's great to be back home again. And soon this will be my permanent residence in my hometown of 45 years, Miami-Dade County. This is a great group of people, and I'm honored to be speaking here truly. I have to make a disclaimer before I speak. I have an opinion on absolutely everything. If you have not heard me give an opinion on something, either I haven't brought it up yet, or you didn't hear my show or see my post on Facebook, and I am back on Twitter that day. And if I didn't have strong opinions, there's no business being in the radio. And when I talk about, which is usually conservative politics, 95% of it, to me they're black and white issues. And without getting into specifics, which I will get into later, Florida is not only the beacon of hope for every state all the other 49 states in the nation. It's influenced laws to make those states better. The obvious thing is medical freedom. Honestly, when the pandemic started, you heard what I said. When this China virus started, we didn't know if we'd ever be able to walk without masks, see our families in hospitals, hug our children, or if kids would be suffocated in the schools. The George Washington of our time, and he really is, because George Washington I consider the greatest president ever, because he, with so much adversity, he and our beloved Governor Ron DeSantis, both of them, made sure that we were 100%, we were as free as possible. And Ron DeSantis made law after law with the help of Alex and the wonderful legislature, and I have a lot of friends in there who are willing to be associated with my endorsements still. Alex, you're one of them, thank you. And he said two things to Biden. One I will not repeat because it's an expletive. It starts with the letter F in private. And he got the message was clear around the country. And I'm no Rich Little, but I'll try to do an imitation. Biden was sitting anywhere in the front row, and this was heard around the world. Ron DeSantis said, "I don't want to hear a blip from you about COVID until you close the border." Sometimes just a few words, positive or negative, made a difference. But hey, it doesn't, and right now, the pandemic is a memory I'd love to forget, though impossible. We have to remember those so we never repeat living in literally communism, which is the philosophy of the Democrat Party. Liberalism is dead, communism is alive. But I'd rather talk about us more, much, much more. So I just want to mention a couple other things about how we led the nation. And I want to mention, I'm going to give kudos to this wonderful group of people as an example that Ron DeSantis was part of it. But please be honored to be anywhere in the same sentence as our beloved governor. No, he is not my God. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is, but you get the point. I have people I admire. You save my freedom, it's important to save my life. Ron DeSantis is the school choice king of the country. And school choice is a proven success. It's common sense. If you're in a failing school, you have a right to achieve your dreams and go to a private or charter school where in Arizona the graduation rate went up 37%. And all across the country, if anyone saw the documentary, it's a great one. Waiting for Superman, people were hugging the Commission of New York and the people who did the lottery for charter schools because their lives were saved. Thank God for our beloved governor. But I want to commend the Miami-Dade, the Miami GOP, and it was almost all of you because I did watch a lot of the highlights. Some people, we as true conservatives, which is almost all of us. I think I'll get to that in a second. This year, 2022, was the year where the impossible became possible. The child abusing left-wing school board was going to indoctrinate students with LGBTQP, the whole alphabet soup, and much, much more. It's even hard for me to say this, but gender transitioning, and they will slander you. But I saw a lot of you there, and I can't commend you enough, at the school board meeting, sacrificing free time, even work time, and guess what? It went like from an 8-1 ruling in favor of child abuse to an 8-1 ruling against it, because you thought the impossible made a difference, and I commend all of you to the highest degree. Thank you. I strongly believe, and one of the things that stands out about my talk show, many of you have been guests, many of you have heard it, some of you haven't. I'm not shy on shameless plugs. The Mike Essen Show, South Florida's conservative voice, that's my trade name, as you probably know. 4 to 5 every Monday through Friday. Write this down or put it in your computer, blogtalkradio.com/MikeEssen show. Many things stand about my show. First of all, I love to bring humor and issues. I'm sure you can figure that out. I'm not talking to Cori Bush or John Fetterman here, so I shouldn't even bring that up. But he has an IQ of 0. She has one of -10, so he wins something besides Senate election. But here's the thing. One thing that stands out about my show is not all my guests are patriots or conservatives. I think a lot of you know, I bring on many have even rejected coming on. Left-wing progressives that you wouldn't even want in your backyard have been on the phone. I want to give 2 examples that really stand out. I don't know how I did this, but I debated a thug from Black Lives Matter. I wouldn't even let him give out his viewpoint. I don't know if any of you heard the show, but this is a key example of me now confronting the enemy. And they are enemies. Head on is the issue. I said to the thug, I mentioned like 6 occasions where they looted stores, broke property, Molotov cocktails, etc., etc., etc. His response was, I will give away the show, it's been a while. They have it's collateral damage, they have insurance, that's okay. I'm glad he said it. I'm not glad he's doing it, but the more he talks like that, the more, and if I was here to talk about every moronic thing a left-winger said, we'd be talking all day about nothing else. Every time either Joy Reid, Cori Bush, John Fetterman, or anybody in the White House opens their mouth, it helps our cause. Every time AOC says something, I can't even get upset, I laugh hard. 2 comedians in the Congress are John Neely Kennedy and Lauren Boebert. They're intentionally funny. They're like the Ed Wood movies, except they have some power, which both the Joy Reid, MSNBC's watchers enjoy them, but I debated also, who knows the name? We all know the name Gloria Allred. She actually immediately accepted the invitation I gave to debate about pro-life issue, a cause I've been involved with almost 40 years. I'm proud of every move I've been involved with. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. And she honestly, I had to prepare a lot. She's litigated this issue longer than I've been alive. I've alive since Lincoln was president. She was alive when Monroe was president, so you get the point. She honestly, after 10 minutes, she ran out of words. I even gave her the chance. One tradition on my guest show with opposition is, I give my opposition one shot to shoot me the hardest question. Her question is to beat up a woman who tried an abortion. That's the top feminist in the country. I wonder what the worst is like. It was one of my proudest moments was wiping the floor with a woman who is to men what the Ku Klux Klan is to every minority in the book. You can hear the show in my archives. But if you confront the enemy head on, whether it's militarily or with my silver tongue or with any talent you have, welcome it. Welcome dissent. We're going to get to the questions. I just want to say one thing. One thing, quickly, I promise, Alex. I had a big honor last year. After dreaming of being a talk show host and climbing up the ladder for years, I actually covered and was a reporter at CPAC 2022 and enjoyed every minute of it. And before, it's a moment I'll never forget. And today I had just about as equally an honor. Who is familiar with the yearly conference of Progressives Hate, which means we love it, the Pro-Awakening Conference? Who's familiar with that? The Pro-Awakening Conference. It has such speakers. It's going to have speakers like little guys like Charlie Kirk, a guy I had on my show Monday, Mike Lindell, Eric Trump, and many others, including, yes, Roger Stone. It's going to be at the Trump Doral, May 12th and 13th, 8:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. I'm covering as a media figure that honored event. I hope I get negative press from the left, positive press from the right, and hopefully all you'll be there. I'd love to see you. Thank you so much. This is a really intellectual audience. The ones I've heard really impressed me. A lot of outspoken people out here, and they speak truth, and they speak very fervently. So I'll open it up for questions. Does anybody have questions for the opinionated South Florida's conservative voice speaking live? Raise your hand if you do, please.
You'll be hanging out here too right after.
I'll be hanging out too after the meeting. If you want to talk to me anything, I have business questions. Anybody have any questions? The gentleman, so you in the black shirt, please. You with the hat, the gentleman in the back with the hat. You get your hand up. I apologize. I do have four eyes.
All right, I guess we don't. Mike, thank you very much.
Love you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike Essen. So, Mike, you're going to be around, right?
Yes, sir.
You're going to be around, and Anthony Verdugo is going to be around, and Ben DeJure will be around. So